Hey, this is Kam Kelly. Welcome to another Devil Talk. This week, joined, as always, by Brent Pope.
Great to be back. It's been a couple of weeks, man.
It has been. This week, it's all about you.
Well, it was supposed to be about me with somebody else, but they're not here.
Do you know what? That's what technology is for. Just because someone can't turn up, it doesn't mean that they don't deserve to get a little bit of grief. Surely.
Oh.
This is Kam here, and Brent.
Hi, Maxwell.
Hi.
Now, I've seen a few movies, and I believe the term is, why you want to play a brother like that?
Oh.
No, I'm actually outside, just in the car. I was like, well, then he texted me, don't not to worry, but...
You're actually...
No, I messed up today.
What are you doing in the car? Are you by yourself or are you with somebody else?
No, I'm by myself driving to you. Shut up.
Well,
it's a life of an injured hockey player. I don't even know what day today is. I thought it was Wednesday.
It's not Wednesday, dude.
I swear to God, I didn't even know it was Thursday. I'm on the way.
Maxie, I don't think you can make it by the time we finish talking. So just get out your car, go back to whatever or whoever you left in your bed, and maybe we'll get you on next week's.
I will be there next week, and there's nobody in my bed. Thank you very much.
All right, okay. We've sullied your good name.
Professional hockey player. What do you think we do with it? Is it a summer camp? No.
See, that's a contradiction in terms. There's nobody in my bed. I'm a professional hockey player. Because other professional hockey players are thinking, well, why not then? You're not using your position correctly, are you? Maxie, we'll try and get you on next week.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks. All right, boys. All right, I'll speak to you later.
Right, so there he is, Maxie Boom Birbraer, and we'll maybe get him on next week's Devil Talk. Meanwhile, let's look forward to this weekend matches. Friday night, live on Sky, it's the big one against Braehead.
Well, they're a team that we might be facing in the playoff quarterfinals at the end of the month, March 31st or April 1st, home game here in the Bay, trying to get to the ultimate playoff weekend in Nottingham. So they've been playing well, and, you know, they're a team that's really on the rise, to be honest. I think things are going well for the business of the Braehead clan up there, and it's my first look, actually, at their stadium, so looking forward to what's going up. It's a long road trip.
But if memory serves, I think the ideal in the playoff would be Coventry, not Braehead.
It would be, I think, maybe for traveling fans, Coventry fans coming down. But if you get into the business of trying to schedule who you're going to play against, you set a real slippery slope for yourself, because you got to play whoever you got to play. I mean, at the moment, we're 2 imports down, Max being one of them who's injured, and Brad Voth retiring this year. So we aren't as deep maybe as we'd like to be, and I think we got to go through whoever is going to be scheduled against us. And Coventry may be seen as a team maybe not playing as well as Braehead at the moment, but at the end of the day, you just got to play well yourself.
It's amazing to hear you say that, because, you know, up until a couple of seasons ago, you just wouldn't have said that about Coventry against any of the Scottish teams.
Well, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, they've had a difficult season, maybe on and off the ice, and I look at their lineup, and they just maybe haven't got the same performance from the players anymore. Maybe some of the players are getting a little bit older that were in key positions, but they've just been very inconsistent. And I think I'm trying to think of, you know, a player or a nucleus of personnel within Coventry that are really going to hold it all together. I mean, Shea Guthrie has been a real good leading scorer and has really had a strong second half of the season. But other than that, you know, they haven't quite had that effectiveness that they have in recent seasons. But gosh, I mean, hard for them to keep up with the benchmark they set for themselves. With now they've won the Elite League trophy for the league championship 4 times already. So, you know, unfortunately for them, they were at such dizzying heights. They were always going to have some, you know, period of instability, and maybe this season's one of them. Back
to Braehead, you fancy your chances against them or not?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think that we've got our hands full. They beat us here last time in a shootout, and you know, I think they're a team that is in a great position to try and get to that Final Four weekend. I mean, Neil Black owns the Braehead clan. He also owns the Nottingham Panthers, and he's got a team that's capable of doing that. And Drew Bannister, an ex-NHL defenseman, came across from Hull Stingrays, has got a good Braehead clan team playing very well at the right time of year.
Hopefully it won't go to a shootout again, because as we've discovered and we've discussed on Devil Talk many a time, it doesn't tend to go well. Do you think that has something to do with any team that is prefixed by the word Cardiff?
Well, yeah.
Penalty shootouts are just not strong.
Well, it's as we've said before, it's confidence, isn't it? And when you start to think about yourself in that way before you even take on those particular challenges, then I think you're already one step behind the 8 ball, and it really takes either a colossal sort of fault or failure from the other team It's almost that sort of, rather than playing to win, we're trying to play not to lose potentially in those situations.
Yep.
And then you invariably lose anyhow. Mm-hmm. So you have to, it's a mentality thing. And, whether that's by a new personality, whether that's by just, a well-taken goal that breeds confidence, whatever the catalyst is going to be, we haven't quite struck it yet this season, have we? So, and we really, at the moment, not feeling as confident as we should about those situations. Well,
fingers crossed, touch wood, no penalty shootouts this weekend. Let's move on to Saturday night's game where we see the Cardiff Devils take on Dundee in Dundee.
So Dundee, is a team that's scrapping to stay in there in that position in the 8th spot for the playoff round. So most likely going to be taking on Belfast or Sheffield. But they're a team that's playing well all the time, and they need to produce. They need to have a strong performance. But if I'm being honest about a general feeling this past week across Scotland is. I hope that it's a rare one here, but I'm not sure if you're aware of the situation with Todd Dutiam, and unfortunate the passing of his wife and his 2 unborn twins in his past week. And I think that probably hockey in general across Scotland this weekend and all across the UK and the Elite League and all the other leagues will probably be not necessarily taking a back seat, but certainly in recognition of devastating tragedy for one of its alumni and one of its brothers in Todd Dutiam, who's the Fife Flyers player coach. So big weekend. I don't want to put a somber tone on things, but I suspect there'll be a lot of experience and a lot of feeling around that particular event in Scotland this weekend for our players.
I think my understanding of this weekend certainly is that there are going to be minute silences before every Elite League match this weekend. On the ice for the boys, which Cardiff Devils in particular do you think we should be looking out for? I mean, Scott Matska, perchance, last weekend there was a nice hat-trick for him.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for Scott, and now that he's been able to get through that Christmas period and and get focusing back on his hockey again. Obviously, the birth of his second child was a big focus in the season for him, and but he seems to be back on track. Gets himself a hat trick, and we need that. When we're operating with only 8 imports, you need as much as you can get from each guy. And Scott Matska's our big guy, and he needs to be that man for us. So. Looking for it from him. But, I'd like to, as much as our British players have been strong all season and giving us what we need and holding it together, I'd like to see a little bit of offense, come from them as well. They're capable of it. They're getting the opportunities. And I'd like to start to see them get rewarded with some points and get those opportunities to score goals too.
After all the fun of the Stevie Lyle testimonial match, which, by the way, did you enjoy?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Is the focus well and truly on winning games again now?
It has to be. I mean, we've got to finish strong. Obviously, season ticket sales are starting well here now for next season. We've got the announcement of the new rink coming. There's still, obviously a lot of interest in what's going to be happening, who's going to be operating that, when is that going to start, and all the rest. But we have to take care of the business at hand, which is making sure that we finish this season as well as we can and get people, wanting to come and watch the team finish well and support them. So, we're right in the midst here of football last weekend. We got rugby with the Six Nations at the moment, Grand Slam potentially coming up for Wales. So we are in a competitive time period for people's interest and support. So we need that now more than ever. And then we need to get across the line and get to that playoff weekend again. Whether or not we're as deep as we'd like to be this year, well, I think that's obvious that maybe we aren't. But I think we've got a gutsy display and a gutsy enough energy and character still in the tank to be able to get ourselves there.
Good luck to the guys this weekend against Braehead and Dundee. Following that, it'll be back in the Bay against Coventry on Saturday the 10th of March.
It is.
Brent Pope, thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks, Cam.